What's up, y'all? It's Peaches. Welcome back to my channel. We back with another video, and as promised, this is a detailed video on how I do my acrylic toes. So acrylic toes is a highly requested service. You can book it with a pedicure or without a pedicure, and this particular client did not book it with a pedicure. So when I do acrylic toes, basically the prep I'm speeding through right now because it is the same as if I was prepping somebody's fingernails, which I just did a video on that, so I'll go ahead and link it for you guys. So like I was saying, it does not come with a pedicure. It is a highly requested service by itself. So when they come, I basically prep their toes and put acrylic on. Okay, I do acrylic toes as an overlay. I do not use tips in any way, shape, or form. You guys, I am very against using tips on toes because if you were to get an injury or anything like that, you could have severe damage done to your toes. So this particular method, I will explain more, but we're just going to say the basic of the method that I do is an overlay, and I work with what you got, and I provide an overall look that is best for not only your lifestyle, but just for your foot. So this particular foot that I'm doing today, I guess, or this pair of feet, whatever, I'm only showing one foot, and this particular person is getting, this is my standard length that I do, unless someone either comes in with a longer length of toenail or if they request a shorter length, if that makes sense, especially on the big toe. So what I'm about to do today, this is my standard, how I do it on everybody, unless they either, like I said, have longer toenails naturally, or if they just like want a shorter big toe. Because some people want shorter than this, okay? So we're about to be done with prep, and the color I'm about to use is Peeky Nude by Not Polish. Y'all know, that's it and that's all I use, okay? So basically, we're gonna start out with a nice medium-sized bead, and I'm gonna go ahead and lay it kind of like in the center of the nail towards the tip. And the reason I do this is because if you start it on the tip, all of it is gonna fall off like right away. It's not gonna set. You won't be able to see how I'm like pushing this and it's like setting. You can see it's becoming a little stiffer, but it is moldable. This is what you need. And the reason I do this is I set it there so that way it has like some leverage to hold on to. So as I'm dragging it to the tip to make the length of the toenail, it's not just all gonna be a wet mess, if that makes sense. So I'm not gonna lie, to be doing this, you do need extremely good acrylic control. If you are still practicing it in a beginner and you're having trouble with beads, or it's hard for you to do application on fingernails, toenails is a whole nother level, okay? So you can see it's set. I am pulling and dragging to the best of my ability without having all of it go underneath. And when this happens, I use my brush to lift it a little bit, okay? Please, I don't want any comments about, oh, this isn't sanitary, this and that. No, it's not. I did spray her foot. I do try to remember to spray people's foot with like a cleansing spray, to be honest, but in school they teach you as long as the foot, you don't have any like identifiable fungi or like medical nail disorders, etc., you're good to go. Okay, my hands are clean. I sprayed her. We're clean. So yes, I'm gonna continue pulling and dragging until I get to a length that is, y'all, I'm so sorry, somebody is vacuuming in my building, until we get to a length to where I feel comfortable that I'm going to extend it even further, because at this point, if I leave it like this, when I go to file, it's going to be even shorter. So keep that in mind for acrylic toes. Whatever length you decide to stop extending to, the nails are going to end up way shorter than that, because when you file and stuff, it's a little bit different than fingernails, okay? Like acrylic set on your nails. So as you can see, I put the bead on the very edge. You have to hold it. It needs time to set. So see how I go underneath? I keep it from falling. I play with it a little bit, but not too much. It's so that it can set, so I can extend it. Now, when doing this method, you're going to be doing a lot of like back and forth here and there kind of, because it's going to want to fall over the toenail and it's going to want to get stuck underneath, and you're going to need to know how to extend it so that way the toenails are not too narrow and that you get a perfectly square shape, because in my area I am known for doing acrylic toes, and I'm known for giving it a good shape, and this is like foolproof every time, you know. So then I'm gonna go ahead and like square it off in a way, and it will make it easier for me to shape, because the less filing you have to do, the longer the toenail can stay, if that makes sense. So yes, I'm continuing to let it set, making sure the toenail is covered and the tip is in some sort of square shape, and that the underneath is not too crazy, because we're going to worry about that later. And then I will go ahead and fill in the front near the cuticle. You don't need thick, heavy beads, okay? I'm not going to lie, when I first started doing toes a year ago, well, acrylic toes, I would do it as if I needed to make a lot of support for the toe. We want a very natural look, so that way when you look from the side, we don't need like a huge apex or anything like on fingernails. It's not the same, because we're using toes for appearance, since this is an overlay and not for strength. Okay, so like I said, again, this is an overlay. This is not just saying we don't need any strength that's going to keep the tip and the natural nail from breaking off from each other. And though, because I placed that initial bead so far up and then dragged it back, there's already support there, if that makes sense. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and keep doing this. I'm not gonna lie, you guys, I do have a client right now, so I am gonna have to finish the rest of my voiceover when I come back, and when I am done, we'll be on to the little toes. And for the little toes, it's pretty self-explanatory, honestly. So I may just let that play. I'm not really sure. I'll let you guys know what I end up doing. But yeah, we're gonna make sure that this toe has enough color, because honestly, if it's too translucent and you can see a real nail through, it's gonna give you not the same type of effect. Okay, so I'm just gonna explain one little toe, and I'll just let you guys watch the rest. So for small toes, you don't really need to extend anything, because most people do not want long small toes. Okay, they really just want the squared out shape. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna take enough acrylic. Okay, so we're gonna work with a little bit of a smaller bead, still not hecka small, but you know, just a little bit smaller, so that way we can do the overlay on the whole toe, and we're going to go ahead and shape it. I am going to extend it slightly, because as I said, if you don't extend it at all, you're going to end up with something that's like pretty short. And we at least want to give the client the length of what their natural toenail is. So that's a rule of thumb for me personally. The length of their toenail is going to be at least the length that they came in with. So we don't want to make it much shorter than that unless they personally ask. So you can see how I put the bead there. I am swiping on the sides to make sure that everything is good to go. I'm going to square off the front like how I did with the big toe, swipe across the front. And as long as it's not so thin that you can see the real color of the toenail underneath, see how I'm filling that in, you're good to go. Because again, these do not need to be bulky. They do not need to be heavy at all. It's just for appearance purposes, okay? So I'm gonna let you guys watch the rest of the little toes, since I had time to explain that one, and I'm gonna come back for the shaping and filing. Okay, so I am back and we are on to shaping and filing. So basically this part is pretty much the same as if I was doing a regular full set. I'm going to start with going around the cuticles to do any slight debulking around the cuticles, so that way it's much easier for me to shape. And I'm also going to go underneath the toenail, and you're going to see me like pull the skin in such a way, you can see right here, so I don't actually touch their skin. This doesn't hurt them or anything. And what this does is thins out the edge, because I did like do the overlay and then build it up again even further out. Underneath is kind of on the bulkier side basically, but if you file too much on top, you will file away the color, and you do not want to file away the color because then it's just not as opaque as it needs to be. So I'm going to go around the cuticles first, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to shape the big toe as if it is a regular, like a short square full set. So I'm going to shape, and then the tip will get thick again. So then I'll pause, I'll go back underneath, file, basically adding a C curve into the tip. Because the thing about it is, if you don't go underneath with the file, the E file, it's going to be looking like a brick sitting on a toe. Like the tip of it will look like a brick, because there's so much acrylic that was extended off the toe. To get it to this length, you need to go in and you need to do something about it. You feel me? We don't want to look like a brick. We don't want no type of Legos, nothing. Okay, so we're only going to file on top for so long. As I said, we do not want to affect the opacity. Okay, if you apply the acrylic correctly, it's not going to be lumpy, it's not going to be bumpy, it's going to be very, very flush. It's going to be looking like not a real toenail per se, but it's gonna look close. Okay, so you see here, you go underneath. I'm adding the C curve back in just like I do on my regular sets. You need to be looking underneath to see, okay, am I hurting the client? Am I touching the client? Is everything going okay? Are they bleeding? You do not want them to bleed. As you can see how I'm doing the sides, making sure there's no excess. So you need to really be aware of all those type of things. So I'm making sure that they will be able to clean underneath their toenails. Okay. I'm sorry guys, I had to send a text to a client. I don't know what that is. I think it's a piece of skin, honestly. That's why yeah, that's a piece of skin. I'm sorry, you guys. So basically, upon doing that, we're gonna go back and we're gonna keep perfecting the shape, and we're gonna do this back and forth over and over until we basically get the right shape. Because my toenails, I like to be very, very square. Like I said, I'm known in my area for having really, really good acrylic toes, and for the shape of my big toes specifically. Excuse me. And then at some point in time, I do go over on the client side, and I'm kind of like sitting next to them and I'm looking at their toe. I don't normally file vertically like this, but the sides were kind of high. By that I mean, because I filed the C curve, the underneath was appearing higher than it's supposed to be. I don't really know how to explain it, but it wasn't what it needed to be, so I had to do that. So once again, you see how it gets thick at the tip? We don't want that. Every time we file down, it's gonna get thick at the tip, so then we have to go back and do this. However, once you get a little bit closer to the length that you want it to be, you need to stop doing this, basically. See how I'm like going on top now to do the thinning out? Because at a certain point, if you continue to do this, you may cut their hyponychium, which is the skin that's underneath the toe. And then also you're gonna end up making the toenail way shorter than what you wanna make it, if that makes sense. So again, going underneath the toenail, checking from all angles, because I really, really want this to appear as a regular, as natural as possible toenail. Okay, so I'm gonna do this exact same method on all the little toes. I will probably end up speeding that up because this video is 26 minutes and my channel is still on the newer side, so I'm not really sure how people feel about such long videos from me yet. So I do want to try and keep my videos in, not too long, just to avoid people getting bored with me, since I'm still like a fresh channel, if that makes sense. So I will probably fast forward through the smaller toes just because I'm showing you guys the big toe in so detailed and so up close, and it's really the same thing. So here you go again, as I said, back and forth until I get to what I like. And you can see the toenail is still fully covered. I'm checking it again and making sure it's what I like, really checking, and then I'm on to the next. So I will go ahead and fast forward through this part. Okay, I'm back because we only have a minute left in this video. So I really hope this helped you guys out for those who are looking to get into acrylic toes. I've always done feet, okay, because I had to in nail school. So I just figured maybe I should make a video, might help other people, but we're done, you guys. I'm about to spray her down. I don't have a video with top coat because, to be honest, I really don't know where my video clips are. But you guys see the results. You still see it. Like, come on now. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, please. Nailsbyprettyface on Instagram. And I hope you guys have a good rest of your evening, and I'll be back tomorrow with another upload. Y'all know we do this. This is what I'm here for. Every day. Look at it. Just look at it. Look. So cute. So cute. I'm gonna catch y'all in the next video, and I'll see you later.